Good morning, internet friends. It's still smoky out here, and still wildfires all around. So I figured we'd go through some of this real quick. I kind of went on a little Twitter thing this morning. If you want to read all these articles, you can find them there on my Twitter, which I'll link in the thing. But let's just go through these. Opinion: bad forest policies, political indifference kindled Oregon's wildfires. That's from the Washington Post. I didn't put the year on this one. For years, we've suffered from misguided priorities and dramatic failures of leadership. Now the bill is coming due. So that one's an interesting one to get into. That'll get you started. That's an opinion piece, though. They all are. This one right here: Oregon mismanaged state forest owes counties $1 billion. November 2019. So we were supposed to be getting money. The counties, the rural areas were supposed to be getting money for not cutting timber. Well, we weren't allowed to cut timber and manage the forest, and we also weren't getting paid by the government to not do that. So now the federal government owes us a whole bunch of money. So, well, not us, the county government, so they can all get new trucks. But yeah, so I think it's like $1.1 billion or something like that they ended up getting. So that's some good money that could have went to fighting the fires. January 2020, Greg Walden: our federal forests are overstocked and waiting to burn. So talking about it back in January, you know. This one here is really good. This is it's about 20 pages, something like that, 21 pages maybe. Forest policy up in smoke, fire suppression in the United States, and it gives a real good history of our forest management practices. Then here we go, 2015. Federal negligence leads to catastrophic wildfires across the West. So, 2015. Let's see, here we go again. Oh, this one's 2014. Past forest mismanagement helps spawn megafires. So, past forest mismanagement. Okay? This is one of my favorite quotes from here in 2014. They're not acts of God. All these things are our responsibility. We've made decisions that have created these kinds of fuel conditions and this kind of fire effect on the forest. So, there you go. And then we get into these ones here, like this is the New York Times. Trump said something about the wildfires and the forest mismanagement, so the New York Times had to cry about it. So Trump's misleading claims about California's fire mismanagement. On Twitter, the president claimed that the state's wildfire woes are a result of poor forest management. The truth is more complicated. So, and of course I said Papa Trump mentioned forest mismanagement in 2018, and the New York Times got sad about it. They did. And like shortly after that, we'll get another one here that's got all this stuff. This one here, the BBC: is Trump right about California wildfires? So in 2018, the BBC got sad about Papa Trump mentioning forest mismanagement, but concludes he was correct. So you read that one, you get down to the bottom of it, and they're like, yep. Okay, and here we go. 2015, devastating. This one's from reason.org. I think people trust them, right? Devastating fires show forest management reforms are badly needed. So that's another good one to read. Kind of seemed to me like a lot of this has to do with forest mismanagement, but hey, that's just me. And then from that reason.com one here, or reason.org one, whatever it is. Oh no, I don't know how to get that to fit. Anyway, in 1990, the Fish and Wildlife Service listed the northern spotted owl as threatened under the Endangered Species Act. Largely in response to this listing, the Forest Service implemented a new ecosystem management policy which resulted in further reduction in timber harvests. Then, shortly before he left office, President Clinton introduced a rule that severely restricted the use of existing roads and construction of new roads on 49 million acres of national forest, limiting the ability of the Forest Service to thin the dense thickets of trees that resulted from almost a century of fire suppression or even remove dead trees. So basically the rule. So first off, the spotted owl really messed up the forest down here to where we weren't able to log, weren't able to thin, weren't able to do anything because they found an owl somewhere. And then that's when all the restaurants and stuff around here, you go down and get a spotted owl burger, you get a spotted owl pizza. There's still a place you can get spotted owl pizza. I actually had it the other day. I think it's chicken. Might be owl. Who knows? But yeah, first with that, this part happened during my lifetime, so this I can attest to because I remember these when we had log truck parades and we shut down the city and everything, so, because it was chaos when they were trying to pass this put this thing on the endangered thing, and they did anyway, and it just fucking devastated our economy down here. But the people in the cities don't care about, where that 2x4 at Home Depot comes from. But anyway, so that spotted owl thing, we couldn't cut down anything anywhere. And then with Clinton's roadless horse, I was trying not to cuss. I already cussed earlier, I guess. But anyway, with his roadless whatnot, that shut it down to where you can't build new roads in there. So a lot of that stuff, like they said, the thicket and whatever, it's overgrown. You can't get in there to clear cut. You can't get in there to build fire breaks. You can't get in there to do nothing. So basically, thanks to Bill Clinton, we just kind of have to let it just keep growing and growing and growing, so it creates this problem. And I mean, that's literally what happened. My opinion, I think the federal government ought to stay out of it. I think the states should be in charge of all the decision making. Try to keep everything as local as possible, because those assholes up in Portland and Salem, they don't have any idea how a forest works down in Medford. They've probably never been outside of their little concrete city anyway. But that's just my opinion. I hope you guys have a great day and enjoy the fire mismanagement.